everyone, it's me again. My name is Khang. I'm 7 years old. I live in the city as the local primary school. Nice to meet you. Today, I'm going to read history and discover by my computer, and I will be reading from chapter 7 all the way to chapter 8. Because I read chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I have videos. I read 1 and 2 of video. 4, 3, 4, and 4, 5, 6 is a video. And today I'm going to 7, 8. 7, chapter 8 and chapter 7, a video. So you can find it on my official, and let's say this. And let's do this.
Chapter 7.
Chapter 7.
Mountains.
Mountain.
Mountains cover about 25% of Earth.
Mountains cover about 25% of Earth.
They are made of rocks and soil, and they are much higher than the land around them.
They are made of rocks and soil, and they are much higher than the land around them. So, let me drink my milk for a moment. Okay, let's continue.
They form when underground plates crash together and push the land up.
They form when underground plates crash together and push the land up.
This takes millions of years. Record-breaking mountains.
This takes millions of years. Record-breaking mountain.
The biggest mountain chain is the Himalayas.
The biggest mountain chain is the Himalayas in Asia.
In Asia, Mount Everest, the highest mountain in the world, is in the Himalayas.
The highest mountain in the world is Mount Everest. The highest mountain in the world is in the Himalayas.
Everest is still growing about 5 millimeters every year.
Everest is still growing about 5 millimeters every year.
The longest mountain chain is under the ocean.
The longest ocean chain is in the ocean. The longest mountain chain is under the ocean.
The mid-Atlantic ridge under the Atlantic Ocean is 16,000 kilometers long.
The mid-Atlantic ridge under the Atlantic Ocean is 16,000 kilometers long.
The longest mountain chain on land is the Andes in South America.
The longest mountain chain on land is the Andes in South America.
Why do people explore mountains?
Why do people explore mountains?
Geologists look at the rocks in mountains to learn more about how Earth was made.
Geologists look at the rock and mountain to learn more about how Earth was made.
Some mountain explorers have found metals like gold, silver, copper, and tin.
Some mountain explorers have found metal like gold, silver, copper, and tin.
They have also found precious stones like rubies and emeralds and rocks.
They have also found precious stones like rubies and emeralds and rocks like
granite and limestone.
And limestone.
Some mountain plants, like the snow lotus, are used to make medicines.
Some mountain plants, like the snow lotus, are used to make medicine.
Mountain archaeologists look for ancient remains on the top of mountains. In 1999, Constanza Cerruti from Argentina was exploring 6,739 meters high at the top of the Yuyeco volcano between Argentina and Chile.
Mountain archaeologists look for ancient remains on the top of mountains. In 1999, Constanza Cerruti from Argentina was exploring 6,739 meters high at the top of the Lula volcano between Argentina and Chile.
She and Johann Reinhold found food pots, gold.
She and Reinhold found food pots,
and silver statues, and 3 Inca mummies that were 500 years old.
That was 500 years old.
Mountain explorers. Mountain explorers often want to be the first to climb a mountain.
Mountain explorers often want to be the first to climb a mountain.
A Frenchman called Antoine de Ville climbed Mont Aiguille in the Alps in 1492.
In 1492.
Later, some people gave explorers money to climb mountains to see what was there. Michel Gabriel Paccard and Jacques Balmat climbed Mont Blanc for a prize in 1786. Another French explorer called Marie Paradis was the first woman to climb Mont Blanc in 1808. The first people to get to the top of Mount Everest were Edmund Hillary from New Zealand.
The first people to get to the top of Mount Everest were Edmund Hillary from New Zealand and Tenzing
Norgay from Nepal. In
1953. What? Yet is the highest mountain in the world. No way. Edmund Hillary climbed up the mountain in 1953. This would take days. I think so. Mount Everest is so huge that this can poke through the climb, I think. So, that's where behind, and the top it has a lot of snow. How could he even climb Mount Everest? Is this joking? Nah.
53.
Nah, I don't think they're joking. I think they're telling good. But let's continue.
About 2,000 people have climbed to the top of Everest,
About 2,000 people have climbed to the top of Mount Everest,
but more than 200 of them never return.
but more than 200 of them never returned.
Modern explorers try and find new ways to climb it.
Modern explorers try and find new ways to climb it.
The first woman to get to the top of Everest
The first woman to get to the top of Everest
was a Japanese climber
was a Japanese climber
called Junko Tabei
called Junko Tabei
in 1975.
in 1975.
In 1992,
In 1992,
she also became
in 1992, she also became
the first woman
the first woman
to climb the highest mountain
the highest mountain
in each of the 7 continents.
in each of the 7 continents.
Discover! The youngest person to climb Everest is a Nepalese girl
The youngest person to climb Everest is a Nepalese girl
called Ming Kipa Sherpa.
called Ming Kipa Sherpa.
She climbed it with her brother and sister in 2003 when she was just 15 years old.
She climbed it with her brother and sister in 2003 when she was just 2003. She was just 15. 2003. She was just 15 years old. What? That is no way. Okay, so let's move to this chapter. Chapter 8, Oceans.
Chapter 8 Oceans.
Chapter 8, Oceans.
After exploring most of the land,
After exploring most of the lands,
people started to explore under the ocean.
people started to explore under the oceans.
The oceans are enormous. They cover about 70% of Earth.
The oceans are enormous. They cover about 70% of Earth.
There are still thousands of kilometers of seabed to be explored.
There are still thousands of kilometers of seabed to be explored.
What do we know?
What do we know?
There are 5 oceans, but more than half of all the water in the oceans is in just one ocean, the Pacific Ocean.
There are 5 oceans, but more than half of all the ocean but more than half of all the water in the oceans is in just one ocean, the Pacific Ocean.
At first, scientists thought that the seabed was flat.
At first, scientists thought that the seabed was flat.
But now we know that there are mountains, valleys, volcanoes, and plains under the water.
But now we know that there are mountains, valleys, volcanoes, and plains under the water.
By studying the seabed, scientists have learned that the ocean started to form 4,000 million years ago.
By studying the seabed, scientists have learned that the oceans started to form 4,000 million years ago.
They have found bones from land animals on the seabed, which shows that the sea level is much higher now.
They have found bones from land animals on the seabed, which shows that the sea level is much higher now.
What's in the oceans?
What's in the ocean?
The oceans are full of amazing plants and animals.
The oceans are full of amazing plants and animals.
Some ocean plants, like seaweed, can be used to make medicines.
Some ocean plants, like seaweed, can be used to make medicine.
Today, scientists know about 25,000 different types of fish. They find more than 100 new types every year. There are lots of precious things in the oceans. Pearls are jewels that can form inside oyster shells. There are metals like gold, iron, and copper in the seabed too. More than 20% of all the oil that we use comes from under the oceans.
Today, scientists know about 25,000 different types of fish. They find more than 100 new types every year. There are lots of precious things in the ocean. Pearls are jewelry that can form inside oyster shells. There are metals like gold, iron, and copper in the seabed too. More than 20% of all the oil that we use comes from under the ocean.
Discover! There's enough salt in the oceans to cover Earth with up to 150 meters of salt.
There's enough salt in the ocean to cover up with. There's enough salt in the ocean to cover Earth with up to 130 meters of salt.
Ocean explorers.
Ocean explorers.
Early ocean explorers could only explore for as long as they could breathe.
Early ocean explorers could only explore for as long as they can breathe. They could breathe.
1943,
In 1943,
two Frenchmen
only explored for. In 1943,
Jacques Cousteau
two Frenchmen, Jacques Cousteau
and Émile Gagnon
and Émile Gagnon,
invented self-contained underwater breathing
underwater breathing
apparatus. Scuba. This allowed divers to stay underwater for longer.
This allowed divers to stay in the water for longer and dive deeper than ever before.
In 1960, a Swiss explorer, Jacques Picard, and an American, Don Walsh, dived down almost 11 kilometers in a small submarine.
Dive down almost 11 kilometers in a small submarine to the deepest part of the Pacific Ocean.
To the deepest part of the Pacific Ocean. It's the deepest that anyone has dived.
It's the deepest that anyone has dived.
No one thought anything could live that far down.
No one thought anything could not that far down.
But they found some new types of fish.
But they found new type of fish.
An American explorer called Sylvia Alice Earle
called Olivia Silvers Earle
holds the record for the deepest woman diver in a submersible.
Holds the record for the deepest woman diver in a submersible.
She has spent more than 7,000 hours underwater.
She has spent more than 7,000 hours in the water. What 7,000 water? There's no way I'm staying in that water that long. We only stay for a second or a minute. She spent for 7,000 hours in the water. More than 7,000 minutes, but 7,000 hours. That is a long time. I think no one can beat that. They said it's a world record. I think it's record too.
What next?
What's next?
Modern explorers have better equipment, and they can explore further than ever before. But they don't even have to go anywhere.
Modern explorers have better equipment, and they can explore further than ever before. But they don't even have to go anywhere.
Today, we can send robots to explore places.
Today, we can send robots to explore places and bring back information.
The oceans are the least explored part of Earth. But there are still things to find in rainforests, mountains to climb, and thousands of places to explore. What part of our world would you like to explore?
The oceans are the least explored parts of Earth, but there are still things to find in rainforest mountains to climb with thousands of places to explore. What parts of our world would you like to explore?